Hello and welcome to World of Warships with Montrala. Today's replay is tier 10 carrier game. I'm in bottom tier 8 carrier tier 10 game. This replay probably will not bring me much love, as carrier players are universally hated. But actually, after this battle, I ended up with more karma points than I entered the battle, and that's unusual for a carrier player. So what I've done was send back one wing to my carrier to save it for the next flight, and now I'm trying to scout situation for my team. I left my fighter wing here to scout any destroyers that will approach entrance of this objective A, and now I will move to the eastern side of the map to scout around objective D for the other part of my team. Meanwhile, my carrier is moving on autopilot to park behind an island inside the objective B, that is our base. So I'm closing to the other flank, and here we have a destroyer, and taking enemy destroyers out of the game early would be a huge benefit to my team, so that's my rocket planes attack. And we have a second destroyer. Shokaku is a very dangerous destroyer. It has a low detectability and sends a lot of very strong torpedoes very often. So the Shokaku is endangering this flank. That's why I took next attack planes fight, and I will try to help my team remove those two destroyers on the eastern flank from the game. Myself, I mostly play destroyers, so I know how I hate getting focused. Okay, those red torpedoes, it's 15 torpedoes sent by Shokaku from her 3 torpedo launchers, and now I will try to find and spot her for my team. I will leave a fighter around here to cover the approach and protect my team, and I'm flying in searching pattern to spot Shokaku. That this destroyer has the lowest detectability range in tier 10, so it's actually hard to find. Oh, and here I spotted her, and I'm asking my team to focus fire on her. So there's my first attack run. Shokaku is going in position that limits my damage, but at the same time she opened up a broadside to my team. So anyway, not much chance for her, and here she sunk. So now I will move to the next destroyer on this flank, Tusk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this good, but I will try to do my best. So actually the French destroyers usually do not have smoke consumable, so it will be not easy to hide from me, but she has a good anti-air. Not that good to actually make a difference, but still I will lose some planes. Okay, so I have one plane left and it will be shot down soon, so I will just bring my fighter wing here to provide a constant spotting on this destroyer for my team. And here she goes down. So I will move now to the western flank and try to help my team on this side of the map. At the moment we have a 1 kill lead out of points at my Minotaur. It was not good news for me because it's tier 10 anti-air cruiser with very strong anti-air, and being a tier 8 carrier I actually have a problem with that. And goodbye Kagero. So at this moment we have a 2 kills lead and all destroyers of the enemy team are removed from the game. Well, that puts us in advantage as we still have 3 destroyers, but we lost 2 battleships in exchange of 1 battleship on the enemy team. I will try to torpedo Minotaur that's hidden in this smoke. You never know, maybe the torpedoes will hit her. And here we have a Thunderer, a tier 10 battleship that has very good AA, and tier Pitts and Cleveland. Cleveland also has good AA, so I couldn't do much there, but I will try to at least harass them. And 1 torpedo hit and coast flooding probably on tier Pitts. Now I took my AP bombers and here is Minotaur. That's not a good news for me, because it has really strong anti-air. And a miss. So I feel like I overstayed my welcome in point B. Enemy ships are closing this way. So it's time to move out with my carrier, but I will try to stall them with my torpedo bombers. Still, going against Minotaur is not fun in tier 8 carrier. Torping from behind is not the best idea. It's actually very little chance of hitting. But I made the Minotaur to run aground. Now I will try to torp her. And I'm sending a wing of dive bombers. Meanwhile, I'm setting a new course for my carrier. Now we have only 1 kill lead over the enemy team, but still almost 50 points. A combined IA of Thunderer and Minotaur made a short work of my dive bomber squadron. Both tier 10 ships have a good AA. Thunderer actually has a defensive AA consumable that increases the damage output against planes. Now all that stands between me and the enemy team is Pommern and Petropavlovsk. I will try to support them as much as I can, even with rocket planes that are not the best choice to go against enemy battleships, but I don't have any dive bombers ready to start at the moment. Only 3 torpedo bombers ready on the deck. We'll try a dive bomb attack on Thunderer. Okay, nice. Actually, we had a 1 citadel hit, so it's this kind of damage cannot be easily repaired using a heal. That's permanent damage. And now we try to go with torpedoes, and actually I'm in very bad position because I'm clearly inside of the charging enemy battleship. That's not obliterating me only because he's fighting with a heavy cruiser Petropavlovsk. I will try to maneuver in such way that I kite away from the battleship, making myself a bit harder target to hit, and I will try to do as much damage as I can. Okay. Again we have a citadel hit, so that's a good news. We took a significant chunk of health from Thunderer. Now I again go with rocket planes. Not best choice, but desperate times need desperate measures. Actually, Petropavlovsk is doing a good job against this Thunderer, but she herself is very close to death. Unfortunately, Thunderer is healing now, but both ships killed each other on their last salves, so the current situation is we are equal on the ships. The only ships left alive from my team, it's me and the carrier and the destroyer Siliwangi, or whatever it's pronounced. And on the other team we have a carrier, a German aircraft carrier Parseval, and Minotaur, a light cruiser with very high damage output. Oh, I'm not sure what to do, and I'm trying to move to enter A cap from the western side, but I found myself a fight against enemy carrier, and the people say that only target that is immune or almost most immune to carrier attacks is other carrier. And carriers have very strong anti-air defenses, and also carrier have their deck fighters that they can send. Okay, just as I asked my destroyer to stay alive, she got killed by the enemy carrier, and I'm last ship alive. I need to stay alive for 4 minutes to win this match on points for my team. And now I will be focused both by the carrier, and I'm sure the Minotaur will move as fast as she can to catch me. So I decided to go back, and now I will move away from the enemy carrier and will try to stay alive as long as possible and harass her as much as I can with everything that I have left at my disposal. It's actually quite unusual for two carriers to have a fight on such close distance. We are now barely 10 kilometers apart, so that's practically knife fight in a phone booth. So some of my teammates are praising the fight in the chat, and so far I'm actually leading in dealing damage to enemy carrier, mostly because she has no choice but try to move a beeline into the objective A to try to stop it from generating points to my team and to cap for her team. What I need is to stay alive for 2 more minutes. I'm changing my course now a little more to the north because I'm afraid that Minotaur will catch with me soon. And the opposite carrier is closing into the gap, and I really cannot afford her to start taking this objective. So just as I drop torpedoes, I took a rocket plane squadron. Actually now she's very low on health, and it's almost guaranteed kill for me. And this kill practically seals the win for my team, because now only 9 seconds till end of the match. Let's see the results of the match. I've dealt over 100,000 damage, destroyed 2 ships, and basically made a lot of mess around. Also shot down 30 planes. So that was a lot of work done. I ended up first in my team with relatively high base experience of over 2300s. So that's a very good match, as can be seen on detailed results. I've dealt huge damage to other carrier. Basically other carrier and the Thunderer were the ship that got most damage from me, but also those destroyers that well focused by me mostly got killed because of my spotting. So that's my highlight of the carrier gameplay from the carrier player point of view, and it shows that not everything is easy to do in the carrier, but also the complaints about the carriers having a overly strong influence into the battles are quite right. And personally, I know how bad it is to be focus of the carrier player attention in the battle, especially for destroyer. Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to show for today. Thank you for watching. Like or dislike if you want. Please subscribe to my channel. Soon I will post next replays, not from carrier perspective. Thank you.